Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. Today, we are breaking down one of the most fascinating and honestly revolutionary frameworks for our modern world. If you love clear, actionable concepts that completely shift your perspective on business and sustainability, well, you are definitely in for a treat today. Let's get right into it.
So, let me ask you something. What if I told you that the absolute most powerful, defining economic model for the 21st century isn't some complex web of obscure math, but is actually shaped like a pastry?
I'm completely serious. It's not a loose metaphor. An actual, literal donut. And once you grasp the logic behind this shape, I promise you, you're never going to look at global economics or even your own daily business operations the exact same way again. Okay, let's dive into this. Developed back in 2012 by Oxford economist Kate Raworth, the Doughnut Economy is an absolute masterclass in sustainable development. Honestly, out of all the economic models out there, it is arguably the most visually intuitive framework ever designed to show exactly where humanity needs to be to survive and thrive. So let's build this out.
We're going to build this from the inside out, starting right in the center with the whole. In this framework, this empty space represents the social foundation. Essentially, it's the absolute bare minimum that every single human being on Earth requires just to live a dignified life. Now, this foundation relies on 10 non-negotiable elements. We're talking the basics, right? Food, water, and health. But it also includes education, housing, and energy. And it extends to vital social rights, too. Things like gender equality, political voice, equity, and peace and justice. If a person falls short on these, if they slip into that hole in the middle, they simply cannot survive, let alone thrive. And tragically, billions of people across the globe are currently trapped right in that space.
Okay, let's move outward and see how this builds. If the inside hole is what humans need, the outer boundary represents the ecological ceiling. This is the strict, hard limit of what our planet can actually sustain. It's the maximum pressure Earth can take before its systems just start breaking down. These are the undeniable guardrails of our home. We're looking at climate stability, biodiversity integrity, freshwater availability, limits on land conversion, chemical pollution, and ocean acidification. These aren't just trendy environmental buzzwords, folks. If we push beyond this outer ring, we are drastically overshooting what the planet can naturally regenerate.
And this brilliantly illustrates the massive double crisis we're currently facing. On one hand, you have billions of people falling into the hole, lacking basic human needs. But on the other hand, our global economy is aggressively pushing past that ecological ceiling, completely overshooting planetary limits. We are basically failing humanity and exhausting the Earth at the exact same time.
Now, what's really cool about this is where the solution actually lies. Brilliantly, it's the donut itself. When we combine enough for everyone, which pulls people out of the center hole, with living within planetary means, which keeps us safely below that outer ceiling, we get that distinct pastry shape.
This sweet spot right here, the dough, is the only space where humanity can sustainably exist. It is the safe and just space. It's a world where no one falls short on life's essentials, and we aren't destroying our planet's life-supporting systems to get there. It is literally the ultimate roadmap for our global economy.
Okay, but how do we actually bring this huge macroeconomic theory down to reality? Specifically, what does this mean for businesses operating right now in the Philippines? Well, the reality is, your company, your entire supply chain, your daily operations, they all exist right inside this donut.
Think of it like this. Every single decision your business makes acts as a force. It either anchors you in that safe space, or it pushes you dangerously toward the edges. Let's look at energy and water. Conservation keeps you in the safe dough, right? But depletion pushes you out. Adopting circular waste systems centers you, while excessive pollution blasts you right past that ecological ceiling. And what about your workforce? Fair labor practices keep your people safely above the social foundation, whereas exploitation pushes them straight down into the hole.
So, the crucial point is this. The companies that truly grasp this framework, they just make better decisions. Why? Because they stop viewing their business in a vacuum. Smart companies see themselves as entirely embedded within society and the planet. They recognize they are dependent on it and ultimately responsible to it.
And look, this isn't just theory anymore. It is actively reshaping the real world. Since Kate Raworth published the model in 2012, momentum has absolutely surged. Back in 2020, Amsterdam made global headlines by formally adopting the Doughnut Economy to guide their post-crisis recovery planning. That proved it works on a municipal scale. Today, as we look to 2026 and beyond, the opportunity is totally ripe for Philippine cities and businesses to seize this exact same advantage.
For Philippine businesses, this presents a pretty stark binary choice. If you adopt this mindset now, you will actively define the economy of the future. You're going to be resilient, sustainable, and way ahead of the curve. But if you ignore it, you will constantly find yourself scrambling, trying to catch up to an extractive economy of the past that, frankly, simply cannot last.
It all comes down to this final, vital question. Are you ready to think inside the donut? Because by utilizing this really elegant concept, you can ensure your operations thrive without sacrificing the people or the planet that we all rely on. If you found this explainer helpful, definitely follow SustainFH Studio for daily sustainability insights customized specifically for Philippine businesses. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.